then hurled him half naked and head first against the wall. Henry Abbott tried to stand, revealing a broken nose and 2 chipped front teeth. Dimly, Luke was aware he should stop, but he didn't. He drove his fist hard into Abbott's temple, rendering the master of the house unconscious. "Luke, you shouldn't have." Turning his attention to Becky, he gently helped her to her feet, murmuring words of comfort, adjusting the crying girl's clothes. Then, cradled like a child in his arms, he carried his sister past the astonished Mrs. Dunsley out to the cart, geed up the impatient pony, and drove home before the storm struck. His mother, Alice, was in the kitchen when Luke guided Becky through the front door, down the hall, and into her little bedroom. "Is that you, Luke?" "Don't tell Mama," whispered Becky. "I'll die if you tell Mama." Her sobs were loud enough to summon Alice from the kitchen. "Whatever's wrong?" she asked. "Luke? Becky?" Luke took his mother's hand. "No," said Becky, but Luke was already leading Alice from the room, shutting the door behind him. As Luke recounted the events of that awful afternoon, all colour drained from his mother's face. "You have to get away, this very minute," she said, her voice low and urgent. "Pack a change of clothes while I get some food. Hurry." "Go?" said Luke. "Why should I go? I'm going to make Abbott pay." "It'll be you who'll pay, my darling," said Alice. "Who knows what they'll charge you with?" "Let them put me in the witness box." Luke crossed his arms over his chest. "I can't wait to tell the world what sort of scum Abbott is." "I'll pack your bags myself then." Alice turned on her heel, running down the hall towards the lean-to on the back porch where Luke slept. She tossed a few things in his canvas pack with shaking hands. Becky appeared in the doorway, her face pale and swollen around the jaw and temple. She'd have a black eye by morning. Alice turned and hugged her daughter fiercely enough that it hurt them both. She had to pull herself together. She mustn't let fears for Luke overshadow what had happened to their sweet Rebecca. Alice touched the girl's face with infinite tenderness and choked back a sob. Where would Becky end up now? In the jam factory or flour mill? Work for girls in those places was like slow murder. And what if she fell pregnant? "Luke will be all right, won't he?" said Becky. "Papa will know what to do." "Yes, yes. Shush now," Alice said soothingly. But she knew better. Thomas couldn't fix this. Luke had to leave, and leave now. It was his only hope. The coppers wouldn't be far off, and there'd be no fair trial of the kind Luke imagined. Even if Rebecca could face the shame of testifying, the word of a servant girl was of dubious value against the statement of a wealthy and important man like Henry Abbott. Alice's mind worked furiously as she grabbed boiled potatoes and cheese from the kitchen. The only person alive who might help them was Daniel Campbell. He'd gone out of his way to aid their family before, giving Thomas work, taking Luke to school. A kind man, a respected man with standing in society. But he was somewhere up country, many days' ride distant. Thomas must go for him anyway. Thomas. She drew a long, shuddering sigh. Any minute, her husband would burst in the door with that cheerful smile, declaring his family was worth 10 of other men's. How would she tell him? Alice dashed back to Luke, thrust the pack into his hands, and pulled him down the hall towards the back door. "Go bush, up the mountain, to that little camp of yours. They'll never find you there." "I won't run, Mama. It's not me that's done wrong." He'd grown so tall, her son, and he stood there, an immovable object. They looked at each other, eye to eye, as the pounding at the front door began. "Please, Luke," Alice said. But then the door flew open, and 2 constables trooped in. "Luke Tyler," said the biggest man in a rough voice, "I'm arresting you for the grievous assault of Sir Henry Abbott." Becky appeared at the doorway, shivering and hollow-eyed. The look on her face said it all. She shook her